Are you ready?
Yeah.
So welcome to the Laura and Benny show.
Thank you very much.
You.
Yeah.
We've got Bernard, we've got Jacinta.
Yeah.
Got married the 3rd of June 2023. It's a great date.
2024.
Oh!
Even.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's 2024! Thanks, Jacinta. I don't know what day of the week it is right now, no matter what year it is apparently, but it was the 3rd of June this year.
I hope there's no wedding tonight,
Yeah, I'm like, shit, we're supposed to be at a wedding now. Yeah, no. But it was the bank holiday Monday of the June weekend.
Yeah. Turned out to be a great day
Oh,
to get
really?
married. Yeah. Like, I mean, in terms of like vendors, we got everyone we wanted because not many people get married on a bank holiday Monday, which we've discovered. So yeah, that was great. That was one
great. We got
perk that we didn't think we were going to get. So
we got the venue, we wanted the church, the band, photographers.
Yeah.
But that's it.
We did,
Because
literally everything. We were the first ones we contacted. Like,
Yeah.
And was that
witness,
one
and
of
they
your
had
reasons for going for the Monday, or what? Did you have other reasons as well?
No, like we definitely wanted to get married this
Sure.
year, but the venue was the big reason. We'd been at a wedding there February 23.
And this is Woodlands Hotel in Adare.
Yeah.
Fitzgeralds Woodlands are there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Full title.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald
I know,
Woodlands
actually,
Adare.
You could end up in the wrong county.
There's actually a funny story about that. We were waiting on some correspondence from the Woodlands, and we were getting pretty impatient. So you were at work, and I was like, if you so I'm going to ring in them. So quickly, I was at work as well.
I know exactly what you're going to say here.
Google Woodlands, hit call, rang up. I said, can I speak to Elena? And she was like, there's no Elena working here. And I said, no, there is. I said, Elena Fitzgerald, I said,
does she not own the place?
I said, we're getting married in like 2 or 3 weeks. I said, we need to get our table plan together. And she was like, no, there's no Elena working here. And then I was like, I rang the Woodlands in Waterford and said, Woodlands in Limerick.
That's all right. I took a booking once before for Woodlands, assuming it was Adare, and only when I got on the call 6 weeks before the wedding, they were like, Waterford, and I was like, oh no, where am I the day before? We did some driving that weekend.
I know.
You can easily happen.
Yeah, poor girl.
So it was based on like you really wanted the Woodlands. How long was your engagement?
We got engaged on the 18th of June 23 and we got married on the 3rd of June 24.
Okay, that's good going. Fair dues, Chief.
No, as I said, we've been at a wedding the February 23, we weren't engaged, but the service was phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, I used to be a waitress when I was a teenager and in college, and like I just like things a certain way. The place I worked for was quite particular. Yeah. And like down to like this sounds so pedantic, but I really don't like when you're on your dessert and the salt and pepper are still on the table.
Something you and me would get on really well.
I think
when someone comes over and says to you, how are we getting on? Did you enjoy your meal? And you say, would you like any teas or coffees or anything? And you give a coffee order and they turn around and they walk away and they leave all the dirty plates on the table. So I'm a bit like you that way.
But you're right, that the difference in a hotel, and you notice it when even say after a drinks reception, it's either cleared up or it's not, and it could be like hours later and it's like it's still not cleared up.
Whereas the Woodlands were like phenomenal, and like the wedding we were at was I think 260 or something.
Okay,
and we knew we'd
so
have
even more impressive than
nowhere near that. Like we were gonna have a much smaller wedding, but like it was so impressive. So when they were free, it was either a Thursday or a Monday, and we just went for the Monday.
Yeah.
And
it's just everything down to the food there. Even is just
and it's a great place, but like even aesthetically though, it's beautiful as well. Like
gorgeous.
that banqueting room in there with the windows behind and the way they've got it decorated. It's one of those places where you really like if you don't want to do like I know that we'll get onto the DIY bits because Bernard, you put your hands so into bits. But if you really wanted to do like add nothing. If you didn't want to bring a flower, if you didn't want to bring any DIY bits with you, you could just walk into that room. And like it's so beautiful that nobody would notice.
It was phenomenal. Like we went to like a few different venues, not that many. I'd say we went to like 3.
Okay.
But like in a lot of other venues, like the Chivari chairs were extra. The table decoration was extra. If you want gold cutlery, that was extra. The Woodlands, it was like, that's no problem. Yeah, we'll have that. We have that. You can have that. Yeah. And it was just like great. Like nothing seemed impossible. Yeah. And like when you're getting married, like, for a lot of people, it's their first time getting married. It's fairly daunting, like having to like organize this huge event. Yeah. And like they were just
and everyone feels that way, I think. It is because people get on like at the start of the and they're like, I don't know where my head is, I don't know where to go, but I'm like, should I feel like this? And you're like, oh no, everyone's in that boat.
But not to have to nitpick at like add-ons effectively, and it's the same with whatever type of vendor you are. If it's like if the package is overcomplicated, it's just like I can't get my head around this, or I have to add another thing on now because I really thought I was going to get that type thing.
Yeah, because like one place we went to look at, the ballroom was like a local hall.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Like, it was.
You'd have had to done a lot.
Dark corners.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just like the atmosphere and like the lighting in there as well. The way it can change. Whatever colour you want and all that. You know, like might sound a bit.
No, but it's bright as well. It's not like you're going into a dark banqueting room or kind of like a big conference room. Yeah, it's kind of like has a nice feel to it. It works.
Yeah. And you're right though to notice those small things, because I think sometimes when you walk into a space you go, wow, this is beautiful, but you don't realise that like it's all these tiny lighting effects, the natural light, the size of it, the space. These all actually contribute to your initial wow.
Exactly.
The two raised sections at the side.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like
not one table. I felt like they were far away.
Sure.
Because you had those like the raised sides, like they were brilliant.
And like we were a little bit worried about, like the wedding we were at last year was 280.
Yeah.
And like it didn't feel small, like. And then we were there like, 150 were there.
How lost will you be in it?
Yeah. But it wasn't like.
They structure it well, don't they?
Yeah.
Whatever the number is, say if you're going for the 100, 200, 300, they make it work. It's not just, we just put you all over there.
Yeah.
And the 150, was that like, do you always think you were going to go with that number, or did you like start with, we're going to have a small amount and just add it on, or what were you thinking?
Well, like, with my family in particular, so my dad's one of 12, and
we'll get on to him also.
He's actually here.
Surprise!
We kind of were like, we either are going to have a wedding with like 20 people or 150, and like 150 was even like a reasonable size. It wasn't that huge, like it wasn't that small. I think COVID actually did a lot for weddings in terms of like, I think people before COVID felt like a lot of pressure to have like the neighbours' auntie's first cousin. Whereas I think COVID kind of did a lot for people where it was just like, actually no, like we don't need to have...
If you don't want to, it's not so offensive not to do it.
Exactly. And like, there was a couple of people who like couldn't be there that we really would have loved to be there due to like people living abroad. And also the bank holiday weekend in June. So like our engagement was like quite short. So like a lot of people did have weddings that weekend. Because it is such a popular weekend. It really is.
We've done weddings back to back where I'm like standing in front of this guy going, weren't you here yesterday? And he's like, I was at the wedding with you yesterday. And they're literally going from wedding to wedding because they know so many people. It's crazy.
So like that kind of, so we kind of thought like, between 150 and 200 is kind of what we would have. And it came out exactly at 150, which is a nice round number.
Perfect. But it was ideal. I think it worked as well for like, so you got ready in Woodlands, and it was really nice actually, because it was good the way you were on like the bottom floor and the lads were like directly above it. I actually didn't realise they were directly above what we stood outside to open some champagne, and we looked up and went, oh, there's the lads. And I was literally ringing Benny going, for the next 10 minutes no one's allowed near a window.
But crossing paths or hearing something going on when you kind of go, oh, is that the girls down below? And then you stick your head out the window and then, Mike's chatting the ear off them or whatever. But like that kind of you can hear through walls, windows. It kind of creates a good build. It builds up the buzz.
Like we heard the odd scream or the odd like, woo.
Upstairs, so it's a great impression.
That was image of us like that. No, it was lovely, and like I don't think when you think about your wedding when you're younger, like I'd always had envisaged like getting ready like at my home place. So, but like it was so lovely, like, and like especially with my mum passing not long before the wedding. It was actually even better again because there wasn't those reminders and stuff, like, so that made it for me personally.
You're not surrounded
by
triggers.
So it's a fresh environment, it's a new environment, and it's not like turn the corner and there's a memory.
And we got to have a big sleepover the night before with all the bridesmaids. That was the best crack ever.
And your bridesmaids, some of them came from all over the world, didn't they?
So Laura came all the way from Ballyduff in West Waterford.
Absolute legend, that girl. I mean, her speech was just like, I'll never forget it. I was like, go on, you.
Phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Maeve then is living in Dublin. She came from Dublin. Gemma Burke came from Abu Dhabi, and then Gemma Reaney came from Sydney. So
there is friends for you.
I know.
Like they weren't like, just so everyone understand, they weren't your sisters or anything.
No,
they were siblings flying home. These were just like your people.
And
they got on planes from all over the world.
Like these girls, like there's just there's just nobody like them. Like we're friends in school, and it's just phenomenal. Like to think that people would come all that way for your day. Like it's a bit mind blowing, isn't it? Like both of us were kind of like, sure, why are you doing that? Like that's mad. Like you know,
you could sense it the minute you walked in. You could tell that like Jacinta's girls are like your girls. Yeah. They're going to mind you all day. They would do anything for you. But they were up for the crack, and even I'd say they were probably a little jet lagged.
I know, coming
in, but they weren't going to show it all day. They were just going to go along with the day for you. In fairness to them. So. Yeah, and then what about your lads? Do they have far to come?
No.
Lismore, okay, around the corner.
Yeah, my brother lives blown
Yeah, that's not too bad. No flights.
All fairly local. No.
Yeah. That's probably one thing I wanted to talk. I was thinking of earlier on is you seem to enjoy the build up, because I mean you were sending us on like little videos of, do you know what, you're having a bit of crack, and we'll get into that and stuff. But like you seem to
we're building this podcast up to it, like we're going to get into it.
We can talk about that first if you want, but it's kind of like beforehand it seemed like you were enjoying the build up. You were meeting up a few times and organising a few things, whether it was rehearsals or kind of practice of certain things. But did you like that build up? You seem to have more enjoy it or more interaction with the lads than most weddings would.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like it was. I don't know, it kind of crept up on us at one stage. Like we had the whole dance.
Go on, sorry. You mentioned but the dance. So how did you end up? It wasn't just you decided you were going to do dance, but you decided, you know what, as a group. And I think it was great because a lot of people as a group, it kind of gave the group something to do.
Yeah. Exactly, and it kind of brought everyone together, because like I know like my brother would be older than me, so he wouldn't have known any lads.
Right.
It wasn't like you were all hanging out until we went to the stag. Like he would have known Rob and Pam. Might have met days before, but wouldn't have known them very well.
Yeah.
So just a little thing like that, he met them at the stag, but then Brian wouldn't have known any of the bridesmaids. So you know, just even the night before, we were practicing in one of the little rooms in the Woodlands.
Not
so
like a dance to bring everybody together.
And it just kind of broke the ice, I suppose, for everyone. You know?
But it gives you something to do. Like I mean, you're trying to work out conversation with lads you don't really know, but now you've got something that's like it's a physical action. And now it's kind of like you can have a joke, you can tease each other of the fella who's struggling or whatever. It gives you something to bond over.
Because we have a few videos from the practicing up in Millery Hall.
Yeah.
That was just the
lads. So what was that, Hal? Because we got that video because you were kind of lads may forget this.
That reel.
You have to do that.
When you sent that on and you were like, can you do the second part of this reel? I was there going, you can't. Like, this is the worst person to have to do this.
What was it?
He'll probably go obscure and go, I have a better idea.
So did you just go down to a local hall? Was there someone guiding you, or what happened there? Tell the lads about that.
Millery Hall, if you're interested, every Thursday night there's social dance and practice. It's a huge thing in the hall.
I think we should actually go for the crack. Something to do that's not weddings.
Exactly. And on Sunday night, every second Sunday night, then they have a show band, we'll say, and there's the social dance. Like, this is phenomenal. Like, you're talking between like 80 and 100 people on a Sunday night in Millery Hall. So Millery Hall is very close to our heart. Like myself and Dad, I'm the chairwoman of the ladies club, and Dad is the chairperson of the local committee.
Does he have the moves as well?
Yeah, so he taught us.
Okay. Oh, your dad taught
us. So he was the instructor.
He taught us.
He was the instructor. Oh, I didn't realise
he was the instructor.
Because I saw him getting on the dance floor when you were, and I was like, look at him go.
Yeah,
he was leading at the back.
Yeah. So we, like myself and the girls, did Irish dancing when we were younger, the whole way up and stuff. So we'd have a bit of rhythm, we think. But the lads were absolutely phenomenal.
Left foot, right foot.
I say they were gas starting off. Like.
So like that was great crack. I mean, like I don't know how well we executed it. I think we did it pretty well.
Oh, I think you did a great job.
But like as you say, it just united the group, which was lovely. Like, and even the build up, like Bernard was trying to get his car going. Like the Saturday before the wedding, like, oh my god, that's another story. But the Saturday before the wedding, like our house was like, I love having people in our house. Like I love like full house, everyone around. It's just great. And the lads are all outside at the car, like polishing the car, doing whatever you do to cars.
Men standing around the car.
The girls, we had a girl come in and she set up like a spray tanning boot upstairs.
Handy.
I think there was like 7 girls came over and we were all getting spray tanned inside. So I'm like, the car is getting polished outside, we're getting polished inside. It's great. So the build up was definitely like so much fun. And do you know what? Getting married on a bank holiday Monday is amazing. Like you've the Friday night, you've the Saturday, you've the Sunday. And
if you pace yourself.
Yeah.
And he did, to be fair to you, he did.
But actually, when you say that, right, so that's probably,
Yeah.
so by the time, say, Sunday night comes around and the wedding's the next day, the lads should have blown it out Friday, say, right? Friday or Saturday. Because the amount of people, like, say if you're getting married on the Saturday and everybody's off work on Friday and sure we're meeting up, we're going down to meet the priest and do the rehearsal, and then we go into the pub and then it's like, oh no, we forgot to stop. But you're right, you've you've got Saturday, Sunday to get loads of jobs done, but also you can kind of bump into people and organise a few extras.
And it's nice, and like because we're from a rural area, like a lot of like older people would still have that tradition of like they want to meet you before the wedding, so like it gave people a chance to like call in and like have a cup of tea and all that, like, and sure we were so chill going off on Sunday then, like I don't know, we headed away I'd say about 1 or 2 o'clock up to Adare.
You were, well, I obviously wasn't with the boys, but I was with the girls that morning, but you were pretty, like in fairness to the girls, you were chill,
grand,
like in fairness to you, I think your dad was more excited than you were.
Like, I was like, you need to calm down, like, he actually gave me such a fright, like.
He wanted to come in 2 hours before the ceremony.
I was like, and I actually wouldn't have minded if I hadn't hair and makeup done, but I did.
Sure.
So I had hair and makeup done, and I was in like my pajamas, and I was like, well, no, like I've all
just
this
give
done
it a minute.
If he'd rang at like 9 o'clock, I would have been like, grand, come in. But this was like at like 11, and I was like,
don't ruin the surprise.
Now. Exactly. So no, Dad was. I mean, he'd be a fairly emotional man anyway. He'd do, like, I think people who don't know him wouldn't really know that. Like, I think he comes across as being like,
they just see one side of it.
They see the hype man and the
exactly. So that was the only thing that kind of set me off in the morning. I was just like, oh my God, I was like, what's wrong? Like, and I would be a little bit of a worrier. Like, so I was just like, there's something actually happening now. Because I said to him, like, on the phone, I don't know, you were there. And I was like, tell me the truth. What's happened? And he was like, no, nothing. I'm just emotional. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
We arrived and we didn't even get a chance to jump into the toilet.
Oh, we met your dad before. He
had grabbed us, come in here with me, and he was giving away. He was like getting ready for his.
He was teeing us up for his speech later on.
So he was gas. We were like, and then we were hang on, and we're like, sorry, who are you, by the way? It was just, we weren't just kidnapped whirlwind.
We were in the cupboard before we knew it was this man going, who are you? It was very funny. But for your hair and makeup, you had Elaine and Chloe do your hair and makeup.
Yeah,
they did a phenomenal job in fairness to them. Yeah,
they were so chill. Like I had met Elaine, I did my trial with her, and like sure we just chatted away for the whole thing. Like she was so chill. Like I was just like, you know what you're doing. Like that's it. You do. Like I'm a big believer in. Like we have been renovating our house for the last few years, and like if someone is a professional, I'm like, well, you know, like you
trust them rather than trying to backseat drive them.
So she was phenomenal, like so relaxed. Like God, poor Elaine, she was giving out tissues. She was like,
she dived across the bed at one stage with a box of tissues and was throwing them at bridesmaids.
When Dad came in, so she was just brilliant, like, and like, you know, some of the girls had long hair, like Gemma Burke in particular, like the girl with the red hair, like she has the most spectacular red hair, and she was just like, I'm really sorry, like there's a lot of hair, and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, you would actually think it was extensions. She's so much hair. It was beautiful. Yeah,
it was gorgeous. Beautiful. So no, Elaine was phenomenal. Chloe then is actually a relation of Bernard's, so I'd met her a few times. She'd done my makeup a couple of times before, but again, like such a laugh, like we were all like belly laughing, like it was just brilliant. And like both of them were like, what do you want? Like we'll listen, and like, or if we were just like, do whatever you think is right, like so couldn't recommend them enough. Like they were absolutely phenomenal.
They'll appreciate that as well though, like because there's a lot of times where, you know, they know that like from the texture of your hair and the length of your hair, I know this is going to work. And you know, if someone's sitting in a chair going, but I want this, and they're kind of going, well, sorry, you can't have it. It's not possible.
So, and like everything held all day, like all of our hair, like we're going to bed at 4:30 in the morning, perfect, like makeup perfect, like
unreal. That's
like,
a compliment to the girls.
Oh, huge! And the dancing that was done, and the sweating.
Oh, stop! But yeah, no, it was a really nice morning. I think the whole, because a lot of people, you know, they like to do the whole reveal to the dad or whoever in the family. It could be a grandparent or something. But your dad, like he did react beautifully. Rachel. Like it really was like it was kind of because we were also kind of like we were a loud bunch and everyone was laughing and talking and there was a lot going on. And then the minute he walked in, I think it was the only time there was actual silence for about 5 seconds. And like in fairness to him, like he just embraced the moment. It was so lovely. It really was. Yeah. It
was like I think I don't know, someone said it to Bernard's mom. They were like, the men are falling apart. Yeah. Like the women are like holding it together all day. And
but
like,
shout out to Eilish as well. She DM'd me earlier on today, excited for this
podcast.
Yeah.
We were talking to her when we were on the way up the road.
She was excited for it in fairness to your mom. Yeah.
She was she's just brilliant. Like but like I always say this. I was so conscious of the wedding day. Like I'm not a public crier. I like to cry in private.
Right.
Yes.
I just still I don't know what it is. Like and I was so conscious because I was like I knew Bernard would be emotional because you are, as am I, but like I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna think I'm awful and like I'm not crying, and I'm like, Sarah, I do cry, but just not in public.
It's okay not to cry, you don't need to. And I think the moment that it's good to have a cry and having like a little bit of a tear with your dad before you left the bedroom to the public eye probably helped hugely.
Exactly. And I didn't want to ruin my makeup, you know.
Yeah, dead right. And then never mind the woman products, because Bernard is a man of man products. Okay,
I know.
Because you were.
I was laughing at the
I know,
and the comb and the beard. That was very good.
What make is the hair dryer?
Lanai Blow.
Oh, okay.
It's got her name on it, but I use it more than she does.
I'm going to scratch that off.
But highly recommended for beards.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But even like when Grant, you're a man who likes to be groomed and looking good. But I was laughing because the lads were having chat, what's that now or whatever, and there was talk about kind of the hair and kind of little sneaky tricks that you have, like
beard oil and the beard balm and beard butter. And
will you stay on a bit longer after this? To this mess here in the corner?
Grizzly then groomed, but there was a volumizer. You were dropping some stuff in the volumizer, and that was it.
Powder,
and then there was gas, and you were like, oh no, don't wet that in your hands, like you'll never get it out.
Days they're like, I'm gonna use some of that. Like, have you used it before? And he was like,
that's
no.
lethal.
I was like, yeah, stay away from that.
But it was so nice as well. And then you mentioned the cars. So like you went along the lines of, instead of hiring an external company and having like, you know, the vintage cars and stuff you see all the time, you had a lot of family members who had nice cars. So there was like a nice Audi, was it, that you guys arrived in?
Yeah.
And then you had your own.
Oh no, ours was the Jaguar.
Yours was Jaguar.
Yeah.
Chris. Jacinta's aunt. Her partner Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, he was your chauffeur.
He was my chauffeur.
Yeah.
Okay.
He owns the Jaguar.
Yeah.
I owned the Red Beauty and Lovely that was there.
Yes.
Just about there.
Broke
down going into the church.
Did it actually break? Because I didn't realise you had this red BMW until afterwards in the park, and there was all this talk about will it get back to the hotel? I said, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Did it make it back?
Well, it did.
Did it? The morning after?
Just about of its own accord.
That's right, because the lads lined up the cars.
Yeah. We'd leave there overnight. It got up there. And
because it was kind of it made a wee bit of fool of you, didn't you? Because you were like, right lads, we're going to push this, and it just it was humming, wasn't it? It
just winked like, and it was just like, it's right, get in, go fast. But it got me there, and that was all I had to do.
And that's home in a recovery truck.
Yeah.
Okay, that part I did not know.
The car actually got home before us.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop.
It did. When we were at home.
Sorry, it did. Yeah.
But it was great though, because after obviously you had the cars to arrive in. Nick, you had your car, and the Chris is it?
Yeah, Chris
drove you, and the bridesmaids had a nice car. But then after we did the photographs over in the park, having them all lined up,
it was lovely
by the church, and you know, open a bottle of champagne and get some pictures of the bridal party. It was great photo ops, in fairness. So your car did its job, to be fair to it.
I enjoy that now, because I've always been into cars, and there was something I wanted was just a little lineup of nice classy cars.
It looked great, and people may or may not think of it, but like it's worth doing. Like lining up, it might seem like, oh, we're not using these cars, or kind of like, oh, what are we like lining up the cars? But it looked great. The four cars looked great together, and it gave again, like in terms of kind of like, it's kind of a focal point distraction for we got a bridal party photograph, and it was kind of like each stand there was enough where they could stand beside the cars, and again it puts people at ease rather when you're doing photos rather than kind of like just getting a photograph of people.
And we tried to like involve as many of our friends and family as possible. So like Ronan and Cahill drove the bridesmaids, and Dina kindly donated her car.
The white Audi was owned by Dina.
So it was just nice, like it was just nice to get people involved because I don't know, that's just a nice part of the day, I think. Like.
And it's a good point to like, because on your wedding day, like you need to stick to who you are, and like Bernard, obviously you're into your cars, so like incorporate them into the wedding day, and it shouldn't be a case of, oh, we can't do that today because today we're getting married. It should be the other way around. Like, of course. If it's a tractor, if it's a car, if it's a horse, bring it along. You know, it's who you are, kind of thing. Yeah. But then the ceremony, the church in Adare, it really is it's the most beautiful church. It really, really is. And your priest was lovely. He was all chat.
The sacristan and the Monsignor are so welcoming, aren't they?
So nice. Like we went and met them for the first time. We've been dealing with Rita, the secretary, and we didn't meet her, but over email, and like she was just so straightforward, like no problems at all. And the Monsignor then we met on Sunday. And like the first thing he said, he walked up the aisle to the two of us. We were like standing at the front with John, the sacristan, and he just caught my hand and he was like, "Is this the best you could do?"
I knew they were going to get on.
But he has all these dirty singers,
excellent,
doesn't he? Yeah. Throughout the mass. No, I was reviewing the video and looking back on it, and it's like he's all these singers and he's just dropping in. But great character.
He was brilliant, and like that is something that like I know people do have like certain issues with. Like I understand there's tradition and you know these things.
You can be welcoming though, and he's very welcoming,
and
I think that's
so
the difference.
Welcoming, like because it is, you know, we obviously aren't from the area, but like like the church is gorgeous. Like that shot of us standing at the altar and you can see the ceiling and everything. It's just gorgeous. So like they were phenomenal, and like John, the sacristan, actually found out that he's a relation of one of my friends.
He was chuffed. He was talking the ear off him. He was out with us. I think you were doing the receiving line, and they were going at it. But it's great,
So that was phenomenal, and like he was amazing. I mean, like I've never met a sacristan like him. Like
that's right.
He's so involved in
I had a great conversation with him.
He was all suited and booted and everything. Like it was just amazing.
He's like, some of them are kind of like, right, come on, get in. We must get done because we must get you back out again because there's maybe a Christian coming in or something. Like, but he's really kind of like he's there to greet you at the door. And he's fixing trains and he's, you know, queuing door openings for fairy tale entrances.
When you say some of them are like go on, but I think he had a nice little whisper at you just before you walked, did he? And it was you might not remember it, but I think it's a nice thing.
I can't remember exactly what he said. I think he said something like basically like walk slowly now
and enjoy it and really be there. But again, it's a nice approach rather than sure, go on.
And like am I right in saying he had water bottles and stuff and tissues?
He did.
Like that's, I mean, he was like this is such a weird comment to make now, but we have this phenomenal undertaker in our town called
that is a strange comment to make.
Such a strange comment to make, right?
Yes.
This man is absolutely amazing, and like he is so good at his job, and they obviously work in like the worst circumstances. And like John really gave me like vibes of that because like there's nothing they won't do, like their water, the tissues, everything, and like everything is just like you don't have to worry about anything, and like you know it should be the same on your wedding day. Like look, you don't have to worry about anything. This is your wedding day. We'll sort you out like with you know. I know bottles of water and tissues might sound simple, but like I've never seen that done at a wedding.
But it's the small things that people do. They don't have to do it. I think that's the point. They don't have to do it.
We wouldn't have given out had he not done it.
Sure.
It's only because he did it. We were like, oh wow,
but the
amazing.
thing is, so we see so many weddings, but there are some people who are brilliant at organising and they can think of everything and foresee everything. And then half of the people then they don't remember. They think, oh, we should have got water. Oh, we should have got tissue. And he's probably seen it, and it's like he's got you covered if you don't have it covered.
Exactly.
And that's what the difference is. Is like I'll fix it. Like
but even having him at the door, because usually when it's a church wedding and I'm at the door with the girls, I'm lining bridesmaids up, I'm fluffing dresses and veils, I'm trying to open doors and hook them on places, I'm trying to wave up to cue music, and then I'm also trying to take the photos. But when he's there, it's like I can just stand back and he has it and I can just take the photos. And it's fine, and I would do anything for anybody.
And he did
but it's great.
I'm sure, of the music and stuff.
No, he did. But I know with him I don't have to worry. He's just great.
I met him that morning, like in the church, or before I went in. And I just said to him, it's just like, is Amy after coming like to sing her? I was like, where's she going sitting up? And he was there. You don't need to worry about that.
Isn't it great though?
You don't need to manage that. But you're right. I mean, in terms of you're good natured in terms of I'm just going to check and make sure, and does anything need to be sorted? And even with me, you kept checking in, going, do I need to do anything? And I was like, just enjoy it, type thing. But he just said to you, it's okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
Like she was our vendor, like, so I was like, you know, are we like,
do
I need to coordinate this or? No,
and it's Amy Phelan was the singer.
She
is sensational.
Oh my god!
Really
and like I never got to meet her
before
because I was at the altar and I was gone. So like she was just amazing, and like all the songs we had picked like meant something to us.
Okay.
I know him sometimes. People kind of think, oh, they don't really mean, like, they all had meant something to us. Like my mom was called Maria and she sang Ave Maria, and it was just beautiful. Like that was, you know, I had a tear then. It's fine, I was faced away from her. But like, you know, it was really, really lovely. And like, you know, the church were pretty chill, like, about music. Like, we had our, you know, hymns at appropriate times and then kind of other songs. But like, she was amazing. Like, I found her on Instagram through a local girl we know, I think knows her. But like, I couldn't stop listening to her videos. Like, I kept like replaying them, and I was like, oh, I wish she was on Spotify so I could like play them properly. Like, but she was amazing.
And because some of these singers that you see at weddings, you're kind of going, not that you're wasted at weddings, but you're wasted at weddings.
So good.
Exactly. So good. Yeah. And I think music adds beautifully to a day. As you said, like, it can have such sentimental value. Small things and little triggers that, like, just, you know, kind of get into your soul.
It's just nice, like, isn't it? Like,
it really is.
So no, she was phenomenal. Like, so good.
And it will matter. The audio will matter. Like, I think when you hear it back, I think you'll have flashbacks, and it'll be like brilliant. Like, because she was.
Don't make
them
cry
like,
now, Benny.
No.
I can't wait.
From man products to man emotions, I have to say, I was like, we're working hard on the video, but I was nearly crying watching it back. I'm not messing. Like, men with beards are emotional, but like it was what I kind of forgot was there's a split moment where you went for having such crack with the lads to all the emotion came through, and like did you know like that was going to be a moment whereby you were just going to that's you, like
I was just waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen, like
no point in fighting it.
And that's what I say to lads is, if that's you, it's all right, like in public. And I think you could see people around you, like their reaction to everyone, like as each girl walked up. And everybody's interaction, they were loving it because it was genuine. I think that was great.
So then Monsignor must have known that about me as well, or saw in me, because it was he beckoned me to turn around, like. Because I was still facing, because I didn't know when or.
And
when I should turn around,
like, and I always say,
I think I asked you.
I'm
pretty sure I asked you when should I turn around.
It's when you feel it's right for you.
There's no rules.
That was
do what you want to do. But he spotted it and said,
he was like, go on, turn around. And then that was it.
But it's a great moment, isn't it?
And like, you know, like if you're walking up the aisle.
I know.
Like, how could it not be emotional?
Absolutely. And like, not to get too emotional, but like, I just remember, like, for years, like, you know, hearing people being like, do you know, when you know you're with the one, and I was like, whatever, that's such a load of whatever. Turns out it's not. Turns out it's true. I was like, do you know, it is really true. And like, that's why I think we just didn't wait. Like, we got engaged and we were like, let's do this. Like, you know.
You could totally, because as photographers, we watch everything because we're looking for these little intimate moments and stuff. So we watch probably more than other people watch. But I must say, with the two of you, like, one thing that stood out to me was how affectionate you were with each other and how madly in love you are. Not that everybody else isn't, but you weren't afraid to kind of, like, now and then just stop interacting with everybody else and just interact with each other, and not everybody does that, and it's so there was so many love, even when the exit, when you came out of the church, and sometimes if you come out of the church, they're kind of like, okay, what's next now? But the two of you just stopped and had a moment, and it was so lovely. It really was. And
like, that's what we said from the start, like, that, you know, it was our day.
And a lot of people had given us, like, that advice, shall we say, to kind of like take
the day
time.
flies by, but like, we knew it was our day going into it, and anything we wanted was there. And anyone we wanted to be there was there. Apart from one or two, couldn't make it. But like, it was just. I think that's why we enjoyed it so much.
And you could tell you were really enjoying it. You really could. You could.
I suppose the way another way of saying it is like, you still did a lot of things, right? But rather than kind of constantly trying to play up or constantly do something that's interesting, you were kind of like, you had all these things throughout the day, whether it was entertainment or cars or whatever. but you still had your moments and you still had those human interactions, as rather than let's set off fireworks type thing. It wasn't just let's do another thing. It was kind of like you still had those moments. And
you remember it was about the two of you.
Oh and that's kind of going into it, like we both were like, because that's like when you asked us to come on the podcast, and I was like, why? Like our wedding was grand, like we just had like a no fuss. Well, I was just like, we were kind of like, we don't want any frills, like it's grand, like we just want to have the crack.
I think that's what kind of like sometimes it is nice to have frills, and it is, and entertainment's a great thing, and flowers are beautiful, and big spaces are gorgeous, and I'm delighted as a photographer. But it's kind of like, it's not when it comes down to it though, it's not about the frills.
Not at all.
It's about like the little things that happen on a wedding day. And your day will always stand out to me as you just really seem to, like, you were very good at slowing down the day yourselves really and hard. Taking, because it is really tough, and there's so many people around you, and they're pulling this way and that way, and everyone's trying to have a minute with you, but you just all day long, even when we went into the banqueting room to have a look, because there was a few things in there we wanted to see that Bernard had made, and the neon sign and everything, and the decor, and like, you know, me being aspiring photographer at the other end, I don't know if you saw the photo yet.
I did, yeah.
But
that was such a nice photo. I was like, oh my God.
Like, I was like there in the moment going, take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's gore. When we came across that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, they're class.
But like, it was even small things like, you know, you went to the room to have a look, but you also were like, do you know what, we're in a, well, I know I was at the back of it, we're in a room, I'm not counted as person really on it. We're on, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to put her down.
The biggest compliment. Your whole face don't get it.
We don't want to.
Your best friends now, you're totally accepted.
No. But like, even in that moment when you were looking at everything, you still kind of like were able to go, there's no one else here, it's just us, this is going to be rare today, let's just take a moment to ourselves. And you were so good at that all day long. I have to like, and I know that might sound trivial and it might sound, but sure, of course you take moments. It's very hard on a wedding day. And anyone that's gotten married will understand exactly what I mean.
You don't know, I think, until you've gone through that day, like, because you don't know what to expect on a wedding day. Like, obviously you've been at weddings, but it's totally different. When it's your wedding. No, and we, like, as you said, like, there was loads of stuff in the room, like my bridesmaid. I don't know if I mentioned that. Like, my bridesmaid actually made the
names
tables,
of the tables.
Plans, like,
she told
that.
Like,
she's very proud. She's very proud.
Stop me.
The two of them, they literally did that. Like, the wedding was on the Monday, and they did that on the Wednesday. So like, they were brilliant. Like, because I was like, I don't know. Like, I mean, Bernard's definitely the DIY.
Oh, 100%. When you told me you were going to make a table plan, and I've seen people make table plans, Bernard. Like, how heavy was it?
Oh my God, like
pretty heavy,
So how did you, like, what was it made from? Like, what, like, was it, I'll say it was wood, but it was like, was it a certain wood? Or
the
was
harp itself was ash.
Ash wood.
Okay.
So Rob, actually one of the groomsmen, he's a tree surgeon, so
handy.
He had a stack of logs, so he milled it. Not with the intention for that. I just knew he had these planks milled.
You pilfered
it. So I robbed them off him then.
But it was the way you were able to, like, from what I could see, bring the two pieces of wood that you would
so it was almost like a book.
But almost like a heart shape. It was beautiful.
Open, but one, the curve of the harp has to be a skill in itself. But then, like you said, it's sit like a book, so it's open, like half open, pried open.
But I loved it, instead of like looking directly in front of you and reading down like a flat board in front of you, like, you were kind of like, as you said, like reading a book of your table plan.
That's what I kind of wanted, was like, you know, nothing against the table plan set up there. But
no, there's nothing wrong with having
bits.
It was just something that I kind of wanted us to have. Just
it was amazing.
A little bit different.
And you still, I'm assuming you're going to like repurpose it in your home.
Yeah, we're trying to think what to do. Like, I have this idea of like putting it in the garden and trying to train some sort of a plant up around it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Now I know the wood would have to be like very carefully treated. Like,
but make it work.
So I think that would be nice.
It sounds like you got the right people around though to know how to treat it.
So definitely. Like, exactly. So definitely.
You could have it inside, like the and put your wedding album onto like the book of Kells and every day.
I know,
you can put it on 1 page a day.
Charge people coming
literally like a
glass box.
Don't touch it, please.
daisies around it.
But it was gorgeous. And then the flowers, was it every blooming thing? They did
the bouquets.
The bouquets.
Yeah.
And then who did the neon sign and the art?
So the neon sign, they are called partysigns.ie. When I booked them, they were actually under another name, and I actually panicked for a moment because I was only DMing them through Instagram. So I put in like the name. I can't remember what the original name was now. And I was like, oh my gosh,
I think
they've disappeared.
Gave me the original name, I went looking for them to tag them, and I was like, I can't find these people. And they happened to DM me saying, can we use the picture of you sitting in front of it? And I was like, they'd love that.
Yeah. So, because I panicked and I was like, oh my God, I was like, they're gone out of business. I have no number for them. We met them at the Silver Springs Clayton Hotel wedding fair. Breed was the woman's name, like so lovely. Again, never met her in person. Like, it's so funny how that happens, like, because she obviously came in like the morning of, set it all up and came in the day after, and we never met. But like that was amazing, and like the Flynn sign is like ours now, and we're going to put it up in our laundry room that Bernard is currently renovating. And the art, like we just wanted somewhere that was like a focal point of like for people to take pictures.
And I say yes, did use it for pictures as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, exactly. Like we've loads of photos of that, so that was really nice. And I don't know, I really like that. We just saw it, and it was it was just a nice little
It's good
addition,
to give a shout out, because it was on my list of where to get the custom neon, because we've heard of people like find it really difficult to get it in Ireland, and then like having to go from via Turkey or whatever. There was all sorts of stuff,
and then you don't know what you're getting.
And it's great to know that you can get it in Ireland.
So I know partysigns.ie. I can't remember now what they're. He's making them himself, I think.
As
far
as I know now.
Yeah, as far as I know.
We'll give them a mention in the notes on this as well.
Yeah.
For them, they can find them that way.
Oh, they're excellent, because I met them that morning, and like.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like.
You had your phone, give me that.
Like, they just came in and set it up. There was no hassle, and they were just.
No, that's really good.
And we actually used it day 2 as well. We brought it out to the treehouse.
So
we just moved it.
Okay.
Breed was like, oh, do I need to collect it? And I was like, no, I don't think so. So I just asked the hotel, and they were like, yeah, we'll move it out. So we had it in the treehouse then for day 2 as well, which was nice.
And the treehouse is also, for people that don't know Woodlands, it's also in Woodlands. It's kind of like an exterior area. They've kind of like a big bar area. And they've got food areas.
Like
it's really nice
for day 2, because you feel like you've moved venues, but you haven't.
Like, bedroom's still there.
Exactly. Yeah, it was brilliant. Like,
that's it.
So that was really nice. I liked that now.
And then like crafty people in your like family. So you seem to have like a lot of people that are good making this. So the cake as well. Yeah. So like that was a combined effort, wasn't it? Even your gran got involved.
Yeah, so three women. So Nan was quite traditional, and I was like, you have to have a fruitcake. And I was like, grand, no bother, that's fine. Okay. So she made the fruitcake, I think she made it in like maybe the end of March. And like feeding it with whiskey then for
it was probably
and
shot
then,
for you.
And then Bernard's man made the lemon Madeira layer, and Bernard's sister then made the biscuit cake and decorated it. So it was a real team.
But it was so lovely to have like you all in a picture when you cut the cake to invite the people that were involved in it over and get the picture together. Because I think like the Nan was like the smile on her face in that picture. She was
absolutely delighted. Like she's like, and it was just nice like to have, because Bernard, I know they're all great bakers, but Bernard is a phenomenal baker.
How are you, Bernard? My God, man, what do you not do? What do you not do?
But he couldn't bake his own wedding cake.
DIY wood, baking.
If I wasn't sending the card to him, I would have made something.
I know. So like it was just nice
what
to have
a catch
like,
I know.
I know.
When you know, you know.
Literally, I know. But like it was just nice to have like people involved. Like I mean, if they can do it, then
100%. And I think some people are like, oh, but I don't want to put you to any bother. People are delighted to be involved in your wedding day in some way, even if it's simple like driving the car, making it like all these things. Like they feel involved.
I would be like delighted. So like 100%. I'm just like, well, other people would be delighted as well. So that was lovely. And then Bernard's aunt did the flowers in the church.
She did a phenomenal job.
Such a good job. Like fair play to her. I mean, like to go up and do the flowers and then get glam for the wedding.
I know,
literally.
And she didn't seem stressed.
No, she was. I think she was fine.
She even had time to. She was opening and closing lantern doors. Do you know the lanterns that you lay down? They can get so hot. But she was on it. She was like safety monitoring them and everything. She was like, I'll just open that for a bit. And then for the exit, she was making sure everything was nice and tidy and ready again for the exit. But that's brilliant. Like
when we got there, like we parked up the cars, like when we were walking up, and she was doing her makeup in the front of the van. And I was like,
stop it!
Because I was going to go up and I saw her above like in America. Like, you
But
leave
like,
her
She's
She's a busy woman now.
No, she was brilliant. Like that, they were amazing, and I actually can't wait to see the video because you know yourselves when you get there.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, okay, right, we're walking down the aisle now, and like the
It's
two
hard to take it
arrangements
all in.
at the end. Like, I can't wait to see them now properly. Like, it is hard to take it all in. Like, it really is. Like, so
It's a blur. It's a blur. And when we go back to while you were back in the church, the Guard of Honour. Do you know what the Guard of Honour was? Don't you be reading me notes. So normally you get the Hurleys up. This was the gas. We're like, what is going on? So you normally have the Hurleys up, and but then the lads got the walking sticks.
Yeah,
it was gas. The way with their logic.
They're shooting sticks.
Shooting sticks.
So
because somebody just kept saying shooting to me and Guard of Honour, and I was like, we can't, what? I was like, do you know what? I'm not being involved. I'll photograph.
You do you.
Yeah.
So myself and Days are kind of quite, we'd be big into shooting. Like, we've shotguns and rifles and stuff. And so Days had the idea of that we'd try and get some decommissioned shotguns to do that instead.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
I
gas.
just thought, half an hour from Limerick City. On the bank holiday Monday.
We must give a shout out to
But unless you're in army uniform, I think
to Adam, wasn't it? They're just expecting, aren't they? It was that was Adam who was the father-in-law. Basically, Adam had this thing. Listen, can we have a shotgun in the church, right? Oh. So I'm sitting up the top. This is gas, right? So we're on the Zoom call, and anything else you brought up.
I didn't know what you were talking. Roisin and Adam just had a maybe different couple. Okay.
So Adam goes, right, I want you to watch out. What do you think about this for an idea? Because at the end of the call, anything else we didn't ask about? He has an idea. And they're like, this is real Adam. He's like, right. So we're going to get her father to hold a shotgun behind us in the church. And it'll be a great photograph, just for the laugh now, and I think, and we're like,
we had to talk about it in the church.
Maybe not in the church.
We did it later, but like not in the church.
So the boys were going to bring, in fairness to the boys, they were going to bring shotguns outside the church and do a cross Guard of Honour.
We kind of decided against that and trying to get, like, we have our own shotguns, but we said, like, with transporting and license and stuff, obviously, we couldn't have had them.
You don't want to scare the locals either.
I didn't know any more about it. I put the idea to bed. And next thing we were bundled back inside. But basically, the shooting sticks are used on like driven shoots where there's like pheasant and partridge and stuff.
Sure.
You'd drive the stick into the ground and you'd hang your gun slip, the little material slip that your gun is held in.
Yes.
You'd hang it off the top of the stick so it's not lying in the ground getting wet.
What the use for it is.
And you'd use it for like if you're walking bad ground. It's a walking stick for beating down bushes.
It was cool.
But it looks great. Aesthetically, it looked great. And it's a bit of crack.
Exactly. Because I said I didn't know anything about it until the doors opened.
It's great. I was just sending you back in. They were like, why?
I was like,
well, I knew. I was like, I don't know.
I thought it was something Mike was doing.
Mike was kind of driving outside to make sure it happened. So I think he was like informed it was going on. So Mike was like on one. He was like, right, okay, let's get this done.
Well, since we're on photos, right? So if anybody has the idea of is it there enough or not enough, we're traveling, because sometimes we get asked that, we're traveling from there to there, should we stop on the way, or is there enough in it there? So how do you feel about that? So you used the park, you used the Thatch, you went up to the Friary. So like, did you get a sense of from those little stops that was enough for you, like and you're ready for party?
Everything we wanted.
I feel like, like, not to if you have like amazing photographers, like, I mean, I saw this, like, obviously when you're getting married you follow all these pages, like, and all, and I saw this picture of like what a normal person sees, and it was like two vans were like parked against the wall, and there was like this kind of like purple flower coming over the wall, and the couple were standing in front of it, and it was like what the photographer sees, and obviously like it was zoomed in, those vans weren't in it, and it was like, amazing. So like, I just think the photographs are absolutely amazing, but for us, we did want to get back to our drinks reception as well. So I think like if you find spots local that are beautiful, and you can like you easily
That's right,
can.
yeah.
So like
Without
between the
going out of
park,
the
I
way,
mean, we're so lucky. Like you literally walk across the road, park. Like Aoife kindly took her sign in and everything.
Stumble across the road.
Almost stumble, I know.
Yeah, we have to say thank you as well to the girl. Like she was so, because I'd always ask, I wouldn't just expect to go into someone's property and take a picture in front of the beautiful houses. But she was like, oh God, hang on, let me check out. I do the roses and she pruned.
She did a quick pruning.
So nice.
But she took that out, moved sign, quick prune, and ran back inside. Yeah, can't beat it. Like.
And like the thatch like suited us. Like we live in a cottage ourselves, like so we like that kind of vibe. And then like the friary added a different element. Like I don't know how to describe.
But it's very kind of it's very hard. Like
you're right.
It is dark and the light versus the colour and the bright and the. It was very like we did 3 locations. All within probably 200 meters of each other.
Exactly.
That all looks completely different. And I think that is trust in photographer in some ways as well, that like if we say to you, absolutely you can get this done in this area. I think some people walk into a space, as you said, what do you see versus what the photographer sees, and they go, oh, but sure, you wouldn't be able to do it here. Like there's some photos you see online, if you were to actually see what's going on either side of those photos, like it's you'd be surprised where it actually has been taken.
So I think it depends on your vibe. Like all of those places were our vibe. But like I definitely think like I've heard of like, you know, we ask people like what are your regrets from the wedding day and stuff, and one very common one is like we spent too long taking photos. And we missed like the whole drink session and stuff. And you shouldn't. Exactly. And like the bit of advice I think for me that was the best was when you asked us like, do you want the photos outside the church or will we move away? And you were like, we'll move away, because like everyone wants to jump in then and take photos, and like you've like paid people to take your photos, so like you don't want.
So we're talking about the family group, whereby you felt if you stayed on that, not knowing your extended family, that would have just been a little bit of a mill up, and you were kind of like, if we just go across the road, it kind of breaks it up a little bit, and you can still get your family photographs.
And like you know, in fairness to our families, they were very cooperative. Like,
no, they were good. They showed up, which is the amount of times they don't even just go simple as we're just going over there, and it's just like going ringing them up. And then they're like, why did you do that?
Our family WhatsApp, I was like, okay, so this is how it's going to go down after the church. You're going to walk the park, and like, you know, the fact that you had like your order of like kids go first, you can go, like, you know, it was just really streamlined. So no, I definitely think there's plenty in Adare if you're getting married, like there.
Sure, Adare's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then like even when you're back at Woodlands, there is like, and we didn't need to use too much at Woodlands because we had done so much already. But even small things like using their own neon sign, you know, by the tree house, slightly after.
But the great thing is though, they turned it on. It shows again the level of staff and the level of attention detail is they did it for you. And they got it sorted and helped you, as opposed to someone else going, shut off now, it's closed down or something. Like
there was 3 members of staff like involved in that, and like none of them were like when we were like, oh, don't worry, they were like, no, absolutely not, we will worry, we'll get this sorted.
And I'm so glad they did turn around, because it was lovely. It was such a different feel as well. It's really nice. And this must be the place, is it? It was brilliant.
It's now iconic, I think, Woodlands, and it means something to couples because that's where they got married. It's a nice phrase.
It is, like it's amazing. And I do know a couple who got married in the Woodlands, and like they actually just did their photos.
We've done all photos in Woodlands.
And like again, they were like absolutely spectacular. Like I think behind, you know, the waterfall that's behind there's a little top table. Like like I saw a photo from there. Like that was because that waterfall can change colours and everything as well. Like
stuff.
That's unreal as well. Like so nice.
And there's fields and there's orchards and there's loads at the back. There's loads there. So if you were, as you said, like if you are having your ceremony there as well, and you don't want to take time to travel, because the traffic in and out of there, we were very lucky on your day. It was very, very quiet.
It was quiet.
Usually, one way or the other, there's a little bit of traffic in it. But you just have to time it in, it's fine.
We were lucky actually, because we were, not that we were worried about that, but like we definitely were conscious of it, that like we needed to be, it was a quick 5 minutes spent. Perfect. Perfect. But then with your entrance into the room was great crack, because I must say that the bridal party really ate it up. Like they got that room going. Like the amount of dancing and swinging. I think the bridesmaids were swinging the groomsmen. To be honest.
lost. But it was good fun. And then the speeches, they were so funny, guys. They really were. Like, it was. And I think for the video, like, you know, even some of them were very very emotional, very sentimental, very heartfelt. Very, very lovely.
They were.
But they were also very funny then in places as well. And sure, your dad was like, I mean, he should probably never be given a microphone.
I know, I was like, this could go on a while now, guys. Yeah.
Because it was so funny, because I was talking to Steve from Flott the Dog, who did their wedding bed, and he's like, you know who Jacinta's dad is, don't you? I was like, no. It was like, you know he's DJ. And I'm like, yeah. But like, what's his official name?
DJ Mad Mike.
Is it DJ Mad Mike? Because I didn't want to say it and be like, that's just his nickname. Yeah, DJ Mad Mike.
Yeah.
It's like, Mad Mike is her dad. And I was like, okay. And then this was literally just before the speeches started. And then your dad got up and started, and I was like, oh God, here we go. What is this man doing? Like, here we go. What is this? Oh, I didn't know that. But he had props.
I know. I was like, what is in this box now? It could literally have been anything.
And it couldn't have been more of a dad joke, which was great. It was even better. It was then. It was back. It was just.
But I almost felt sorry for your dad then getting up. Like afterwards, because this was like Mike was going for it, and then your dad, in fairness, his speech was beautiful, and he really executed it really, really lovely. It was so good.
I think like because they're such a different vibe, the two of them, like they actually complement each other really well, and they get on really well and everything. Like it's lovely. Like I think my favorite part of my dad's speech was when he thanked G and called G radiographers.
Oh, did that was. I was just like
epic. He was like, the radiographers. I was like, yes, the radiographers were amazing.
Going, is that a mixture of photographers and videographers? How does that work? What's going on, Mike?
What I'd say is, like, when we're talking about the speeches and people are like, I want my speeches to be epic. It's like, you don't have to go to town on it, or you don't have to do it structured in the traditional way that you think it is, or if you Google it, you're not going to get a good idea from Google as to how to do a speech. But it's like your dad's personality was each their own personality, and they put their own, they worked out their own way of doing it, and then the bridesmaid
they both scratched their speeches, like.
They did.
Dad had written, Dad had the paper going around, and he didn't read any of it, like, because I was looking at it after, and I was like,
he did go rogue.
Totally rogue, and so did your dad. Like his dad and your mom was like, oh Jesus, because like he had written it out, like, and he was like, actually,
he's written bits, like he doesn't really write.
Okay,
I think he was
structure.
He was inspired, and he worked out an angle, didn't he?
It was after talking to Monsignor in the morning.
That's he said like a special moment. I mean, that was beautiful.
There was little seeds.
This Monsignor is like, he's a great man.
But this is what I'm saying in terms of like, they both went with their instincts, right? Even though they kind of did the structure, and maybe even like, so someone recently, I think it was a mother was going to do a speech, but she wrote it out, and then she goes, actually, after everyone's speaking, I don't need to do it. It's kind of, by putting it down, she put it on paper and she got it out of her system, out of her brain. And maybe the lads did that similarly. They got it on speech, but then they were like, do you know what? This is what we want to say to you. Do you know, like, genuinely, this is how we feel, and that's great. Like,
it was very good. I must say, and your speech was beautiful as well, Brendan. It really was, and it was very heartfelt, and it was like, you know, you kind of hit all the right points. It was the right length. You just kind of nailed it. But like, I will always remember though, Laura.
I know. That song.
Was the song planned, or did she just go for it?
So we lived together in college for a couple of years, and she used to, so Laura is able to sing List of Garna word for word. And I had said to her, like, you'll have to sing that now. I went like, and this was when we were like 18 or 19. Stop. And sure, I'd forgotten about that. Like, of
course you would.
I knew she could sing the song. I hadn't forgotten that, but I'd forgotten I'd said that. And when she pulled this out of the bag, I was like, you're actually a legend. Like,
and she changed the words.
Oh, she changed the words. Like, all she had was just the melody, like, not any of the words. Like, and like, everything she'd said, like, because even some of it, like, I used to wear, well, I've an upgraded necklace now since the wedding day, but I used to wear a necklace that Bernard bought me with OM writing, and it was like his initial. Like, when I told the girls, they were like, vomit.
But you know.
And like, even that was in the song.
There was loads of little subtle things that even whatever everybody else thought was very good, you were probably like, that.
Every single thing.
You could tell you knew each other. As in, like, you know, obviously people know each other and they're friends. But you girls were like, you knew each other inside out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, our friend Neve, like, she lives in Abu Dhabi and she couldn't come back, so like, even her like piece that she wrote, like I was just like, oh my god, like this is like absolutely amazing. And it's one of those where like I do anything for them, but even when they do anything for me, I'm like, why are you doing that for me? Like that's mad. Like, but she was brilliant. Like, and we knew she was the one to MC it because it's her personality. Like,
and she was able to control the others.
Yeah, she was.
Your dad.
Yeah, they know each other quite well. Yeah.
Give us that.
I thought there's a photo at one stage. She's like, come on now, you've had your moment.
Well, at this point, he had been at the back of the room. He had been at that table. He had left you. Right now, he's behind you.
He
and I'm like, I think he's starting a new speech.
I know. And like I had to when my nanny was like, that was so funny, like stopping him in the middle of the speech. I'm like, obviously we had thought of that. Like,
but there was moments when he was like, "Who's your man?" type thing, and then you were reminding them, and he was like, "Oh yeah." But he would nearly like that. He would be like, "Oh, what about that fella and that fella?" And I'll tell you something about him as well. He was kind of like he was ready to go, wasn't he? Yeah.
But the song was amazing, and the fact that she had the confidence to get up, deliver it. She seemed comfortable with the microphone, and then it wasn't even just I'm going to sing. It was like, right, okay, I'm going to teach you all, and now you're going to sing back the song to me. It was brilliant. It really was. And I think your speeches work so well because. You kind of, your dad started off on the funny side of things. Yeah. Your dad then, there was a few funny parts in it, but it was a little bit more sentimental. And then she kind of brought the fun back. And then you brought it back down again, and then the best man brought it. So it was a really good balance of like, we're all not going to get too upset and emotional. Yeah. We're all not going to just laugh either. But it was lovely. It really was. It worked really, really well.
Because Maeve had said to me, like, I was lying in bed that morning, and I'd say about like, we were awake about 6. I'd say I think Laura was awake about 4. She woke up and was like, "There's some sort of a cockerel going off since about 4 o'clock in the morning." I was like, Jesus, I didn't hear it. But anyway.
Oh really?
Because they've obviously the pet.
Oh, the hens.
But I was sitting on the bed and I was writing down, and Maeve was like, "Oh, that's nice now she's journaling and stuff." Like, and then she looked over and saw me like ripping out the pages, and she was like, "You alright?" And I was like, "Yeah, just write my speech." And she was like, "What?" Like, I was like, it's fine, sure. I had a few bits to say, and that was that. Like,
but it was great though, and but none of you went on too long. Yeah, you were able to incorporate all these speeches, and the fact that you were able to say something yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
The more women that get on microphones,
not
against the lads. No, the women need to get in there as well.
But it is a male-dominated moment.
Oh, it is.
It was nice to get the girls in there as well. Like, so it was nice.
It was really good, and I think then having Flog the Dog. I mean, you can't. You can't get any better.
Well, there's one thing I don't want to give away. Steve's brilliant, right? And the more I see them, I notice really small things that they're doing that are really clever and they're properly talented. Yeah. But I saw your ears perk at the back of the room. They just played a hint of She Moves Through the Fair, and there was a violin, and they just start up. Yeah. And I don't know whether you noticed it, but you both kind of tweaked that. Oh, what's that? I know that. And they actually do a little melody to start up. I'm not going to list all the things because other bands be robbing it, but they do a melody of songs. Yeah. And it actually, there's lots of kind of legendary songs, Irish songs, and they mix them together, and then he does his intro type thing. Yeah. And it's really clever, but you remember that little moment, and the kind of they have a spark, don't they?
Yeah. No, they're unbelievable.
They were phenomenal. I mean, like, they were our perfect band.
They really were.
Like, they had crowd interaction. They had a variety of like different songs and stuff. Like, a lot of my family would be big into social dancing. They had a nice mix of like that without kind of putting anyone who couldn't do that off. Like, it was just brilliant. Like, I mean, I can't say enough about them. Like, they were just amazing. Like, when they started, like, I had this, like, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is class. Like, they're amazing. And like, they're just performers, like, aren't they? Like, they're amazing. Like, and the fact that they've got like a fiddle player and everything, like, I think those instruments that you don't see all the time, like, are absolutely amazing. And like, you know, the conversations we had with them beforehand, like, they went into so much detail, and like, I was like putting all this in, and I was like, shit, they're not going to remember this, like, and they did. Like,
he takes it very seriously.
Like, he does. Like, he's an utter professional. Like, he was so good. Like, we couldn't recommend them enough. Like, we're so delighted that we were able to get them, because the band can make or break the atmosphere.
It's a massive impact on the rest of the evening. Absolutely massive. Yeah. And so obviously you guys did your first dance. Yeah. And then the surprise was that the bridal party had actually learned this choreographed dance with your father. Yeah. And then all came on and kind of in sync did the dance. Yeah. And was it a secret to the room? Did people know this was going to happen?
No, I'd say the only people who knew were like partners of the bridal party. Like, they had known, obviously, like,
because the guests were loving it.
Oh, they were loving it. Like, it was lovely. Like, my auntie and her partner like joined in as well, like, because they
were really good.
Oh, they were class.
3 people that kind of went towards the front, and they stood there, and you could see them watching your feet. and then they came on and just did it.
Yeah, just
They're all drivers.
Oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Because they knew exactly the
steps.
steps.
They knew. Like, it's a fairly common line dance, what we did.
I don't know line dancing,
but like, you wouldn't know it if you don't know that.
But even like, if you're not one, if you don't know it or you don't do it regularly, you're kind of, what is the next bit of it type thing, and then and how do I transition to that or something? Yeah.
And like the way we thought about it, we were like, if we're good, people will be impressed. If we're not good, it's a bit of a laugh. And it was both. Like it was both. Like,
but you could tell the lads that, like, while they're having fun as well, but they were like, they wanted to nail it.
Yeah.
You know, they at least wanted to get 2 or 3 runs in a row where got it.
Like we did that dance so many times that night, and then day 2 we did the dance again.
Even the morning off, like in the pajamas, you were in the room during the you were dancing in the hotel before you left. It was great in that sense. It really was.
I'm glad.
And then the Irish dancing definitely came with the girls. You could see you were all Irish dancing. I was laughing at the girls also, like, you know, the bit of a slit in the dress, and they were all trying to control the slit, but also do the Irish dance. And then a few of them, definitely Laura, they had the Birkenstocks on because they were like comfort over everything else. We're going for a dance. All of you were in line at one stage. Like just throwing out a few steps.
I love that photo. It's one of my favourite photos, like, of all of us lined up, like, and it was just nice, like, to have our personality, like, through the band. Like, they were just amazing. Like, I actually don't particularly like going to, like, big concerts like Taylor Swift and all that. I don't like the crowds and stuff, but like live music in a pub, like, or live music,
something magic
can't
to
beat
it,
it. Like, you actually can't beat it. Like, it's amazing.
No matter what mood you're in, but live music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and like, you could tell the band were a similar vibe to us. Like, and it was they were great. Like, I'm trying to think of like another reason. Like, what event could I have that I could have Flog the Dog?
Oh, I think we should all just have one big.
I know.
Actually,
And he nearly hijacked. The Flog the Dog nearly didn't get a chance to start because he was setting up his stage at the back behind them, and he saw me up there on the thing, and he just did a sound check, and then he was playing it mighty loud. So how was Mad Mike later on? Because he was playing like the.
So just for people that don't understand, because they're probably listening going, who is Mad Mike? So Mad Mike is Jacinta's father, who happens to be a DJ who happens to DJ at weddings. Handy. Handy. So weddings, I'd say, are like his. Like, predominantly his thing, but now he's done christenings, communions, confirmations. The only thing Mad Mike and a christening.
Birthday parties.
Birthday parties. He just hasn't done a funeral.
Right. Yeah, but he would not say no.
So we had said to him, like, you know, obviously we don't expect you to play. And he was like, yeah, you know, fine or whatever initially, like, and then like as we were going through like the wedding plans, like the amount of people were like, and sure, obviously like your dad, like he's a great crack, and I was kind of like, well, he plays at everyone else's wedding, like, I mean, you know,
I think he'd want to though.
So anyway, we had a conversation at home one night, and he was like, so I'd be DJ, and I was like, yeah, like Flog the Dog said they'll do it, like whatever, and he was like, right, and he was like, sure, suppose I could do it though, could I?
Brilliant.
He probably didn't want to be like, oh no, I'll do it. He felt that like he was not attending the wedding at that point. But sure, at that point, what are we, midnight?
So, sure, like it was like 12:30, I'd say, by the time he came on, and like sure, he was amazing as per usual. Like, again, crowd interaction is his thing. Like, that is his vibe. Like, people don't hire him. Like a lot of DJs, and
that's their thing.
That's right.
They just stand and really interact.
A bag of wigs.
Bag of wigs.
He dresses up and everything.
Like, we had wigs, we had glow sticks. Like, when you guys left, like my friend Paddy like videoed a load of it. Like, and it was actually so funny. Like, 'cause it was like, you know, this is what the photographer sees, and this is like what's it, like wigs on, glow sticks, everything. Like, so Dad's been DJing, I'd say he must be at it maybe like 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Still uses CDs.
Brilliant.
I love that
no
though.
Such thing as a laptop.
Great.
Yeah, it's gonna have a different vibe to it though. I like that.
Yeah, it is, and like you know.
Don't tell any production companies.
Copyright here.
I don't think the podcast is that big, Bernard.
So every wedding, there's a wedding coming up now on the 3rd of August. So I've got an email who was sent to him being like, right, this is the playlist, like, so I'll do all his music for him, like, he doesn't know laptop, forget about it. He's just like, and it's so funny because he could give me an artist like an Irish artist who's written their own song. Like, can you get that now? And I'm like, no, because that's not it recorded, like that doesn't actually exist anywhere, only them playing it, like, but he'll have heard it like at a social dancing gig or something like that. So he's great. Like, he does social dance and DJing and stuff as well. Like, but Yeah, sure. He's mad. He started off with 4 CDs that another DJ from Clonmel had given him.
I love this story.
And I think he DJ'd with those 4 CDs for like 6 months.
Stop it.
And that was it. He was like, that's what I have now. And then I got more astute with tech and laptops and stuff, and was able to. And I tried really hard. I was like, I try and teach you like how to use it, and I was just like, yeah, there's no point.
It wouldn't be him anymore though.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like so. Yeah, I made this book with all his songs in it and all that, like, and nothing is high tech. It's all very
but it's
Stone
the crack
Age,
though, isn't
like
it?
it's the crack. It's the crack.
Yeah.
Like people have like people have rang him and been like, what dates are you available? And they'll book their wedding based on that.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather leave it. Yeah.
And he can never. He's like, this is mad. Mad. So he's been all over the country. He used to actually have a camper van that he'd go off in and he'd stay, because obviously the DJ finishes at all hours, like. But the camp fan was too cold.
See, we never get to. We don't meet the DJs very often. So we've probably done many weddings that your dad has also been a DJ at.
Oh, loads.
But we never cross paths because it's just beyond there. Just as well we're not there. By the sounds of it.
But just that people don't understand, like Steve was even like, do you not know who her dad is? Like he's legendary. Because it's his own style, and like if people don't get it, it's like, if you want someone to like poke the bear of a party and encourage people and give them permission to go nuts, like just when it's kind of, it might be waning, and if a guy was just to play tracks for 2 hours, and it might be busy, it might not be busy dancing, but if this guy's going to poke the bear and get a party going and go, come on, we have the last
he knows what he wants, like, and he knows he's going to be and wants to be the centre of attention.
Yes.
Like, he had his 60th in the Park Hotel back in February.
January.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
bigger than any wedding.
There was there was a band who was
the Waxies. They were brilliant.
And then we've seen them once
of
twice.
Course, Mike was DJing his own 60th birthday party.
Brilliant.
So sorry, no, wait. It was his 60th birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 60th.
No, it was his own.
He DJ'd his own 60th.
So we were down there that day, like, just giving a hand drawn in his gear, like the stage in the Park Hotel now isn't massive. Like.
No.
So there's kind of railings around it. So he was setting up his table.
We know the park,
And he was there like, I'll be here now, and the band will fit there. And I said, Jesus, like the band, that's a very small space for a full 4-piece band. And he was like, well, they'll have to fit because my gear's on here now.
It's my birthday.
Exactly.
He wasn't being shoved over into the corner.
Yeah,
like, he was like, well, that's the space they have now. They'll have to work with it.
I said that was a mighty night.
Like, he's unapologetically himself. Like, I mean, I was more stressed over that night than I was over our wedding, because I was just like, right, Dad, like, I'd be very kind of organised and, you know, this, that, and the other. And I was like, right, you need to do like RSVPs and all this. And he was like, yeah. So I went off and he printed all the invites. Sure, I'd say those invites are still at home. He just was like, because he knows so many people, and like, I think there was we reckon between 500 and 600 people at the party.
Sorry.
So this was humongous.
It kind of came in droves, like there was like.
So it's kind of like almost open invite. Like, you know, if you've met Mike, you know Mike, and you know it's his birthday.
And like, he's so kind-hearted. He would do anything for anyone. So he actually did his birthday for charity. So he raised €6,000 and donated it to 2 local daycare centres. So he's a soft spot for the older generation. Is very you know. So like, he is absolutely amazing, and like, you know, it is. I think only as we've gotten older, 2 of my brothers have kids and all that he kind of, it is a huge sacrifice doing his job, like, because he will, you know, he won't.
You're gone long hours.
You're gone, like, you know yourselves, like, you know, and even like my brother's baby's having her christening soon, but like they can't actually have it till the end of September because that's the only Saturday night he has free.
Right.
And like, he's been saying for years, like, I'll just slow down now, and sure, like.
I don't think he wants to slow it down.
No, he doesn't.
I wouldn't even have given him 60, to be honest, because he definitely has the energy of a much younger man.
Yeah, and it is like, he said there's been so many instances where, so Dad he also works in the forestry, like that's his job.
Right.
DJing's actually not his job. And like, they've been like, you know,
he can
like,
just retire and become a full-time man.
I know, exactly. They've met him and they've been like, oh geez, like, I think your brother was like DJing or something, and he was like, oh, it was me. And they're like, no, it wasn't you, because he's obviously quite serious as well. Like, and they're like, no, and he's like, yeah, no, it was me.
that was my other persona. But I'm delighted that it worked out that your dad got to be a big part of your wedding and to entertain the end of it.
And he loved it. And in fairness, like, you know, like other people jumped up and were on the decks for a while and all that, like, and you know, it's absolutely, and like anyone can use it, like really, like and then
had
day
your
2,
family witnessed the Mad Mike session, or was it first time you'd seen him?
60th anyway.
Yeah, my dad were at the 60th, and I'd say Mama, she watched a couple of his Facebook lives from during COVID.
So that's another story. Yeah. He actually like did Facebook lives from our attic during COVID, and like it was so lovely. Like, I mean, it was me, Marie, like my stepmom, and Dad, and like myself and Dad were up in the attic, and like I had the phone or whatever, and I was like, what is life really? I'm sitting here in an attic, like in lockdown, filming Dad doing
think
his
of a
Facebook
lot worse
lives.
things to be
I know, but like there was hundreds of people like joined these lives from all over the world, like, because family would tell other family and stuff.
Fair dues to them though, because it brought something to people.
It did, like, and what was really nice, like a lot of older people in the area, like their kids had gotten them like iPads and tablets so that they could watch them back, and like we saved them all on Facebook, like, so they could watch them back during the week, and it was just nice, like it brought people together, like, and it's so funny, even now they're like, are you going back on the live?
Would you do it again? Maybe
he needs a live podcast to be hilarious.
I know,
and
actually, speaking of podcasts, like I remember he got a mention on the Two Johnnies podcast.
Stop it.
Because Johnny B he DJs in Clonmel a lot, and sure they're only from Care. And Johnny B had seen him, and like he was just like, I witnessed something on Saturday night, and I just can't really get it out of my head. He was like, this man in a wig, shirt open down to the belly. He was like, I don't really know what was going on, and he was like, this was at 8 p.m.
Brilliant. DJ using CDs.
He's a legend, so
he is.
But if you were to, like, I'd say, guys, if you were to go back and do the whole day again, would you do it exactly how it happens?
Exactly. Exactly. Wouldn't change a thing. There was one thing I felt guilty about because I just totally forgot, but I don't really, because we did the receiving line. We never went around to the tables.
Right, later on.
But a lot of people I spoke to, they were like, no, you do one or the other, like, and because we were having just such good crack up the top table, I was like, oh my god, I was like, we never went around.
I think it's very hard to go around to the tables though, because you get to the first or second table, you can't get away from it.
I know.
That's it. You're going to come across that table where you end up.
The ear, like,
But no, like, there's literally, someone asked me this the other day, and I was like, I don't mean to sound like it was perfect, but like, it was the best day ever. Like, we just had such a nice weekend, and like, we were up there for like Sunday till Wednesday. It was so nice. Dad was actually meant to DJ day 2, and I'm actually so glad he didn't, because we had Thingamajig, they're a trad band from Killarney.
We've met them before as well. They're brilliant.
They're absolutely unbelievable.
Great name as well.
You were actually gone for your dad's performance.
Did your dad perform?
He did.
Okay, we need to get away from like Mad Mike and straight onto your dad, Bernard.
So Dad actually, it's a motor organ.
Motor harmonica.
It's no, there's difference.
Is there?
I think there's a difference between harmonica and motor organ.
Probably is like 2 different names. But
he did the Fields of Adare.
Stop.
So Bernard's mom didn't know that this was happening, like,
and was this like after the band, is it?
With the band.
With the band.
It was at the break in food for the food.
Yes.
Just after the break of the food, he did that. But like none of us knew anything about it. Like Mam, who was living with Dad, didn't know anything about it.
How did he practice? He's putting on the shed, was he?
Well,
I know.
That's what Mam was saying. She was there like, am I away that much that he managed to practice this without me knowing? Like,
it was brilliant. And again, that's a testament to the band. They were so welcoming.
It was just like up you go.
I hope people got that on their phones and stuff. They've been recording.
Yeah, they did.
He did
it again the second night with the
he did.
It was lovely.
This is company's party piece now on. So
it
no, fair dues to him.
It was such a nice surprise, like, wasn't it? It was lovely. I think I cried at that actually. That took me. I know. That took me by surprise. All right, I was like, that was so sweet.
It's a nice surprise for him to actually organise that though, and say, especially not to wife.
I know,
She probably said not just in case somebody talked him out of it.
I know, and she might have. It was so good.
But guys, thanks so much though for sharing so much about the day, because I think it's really helpful to people, because the way you approach your day, and I don't want to repeat myself, really was like, I know you're saying, why are you asking me to come on? Because like, it was just another wedding day. But there's some weddings stand out in my mind for different reasons, and I think it was just the way you guys really, really soaked up every minute of it, and you just kind of, I think you appreciated, you know, everyone coming together, and we're all here, and it's happening, and you know, as you said, when you know, and
exactly, and like sure once you've everything organised, like, and like sure
it's
it
like
was
the
grand.
Checklist, like
the
checklist.
You were organised, I can tell you that from the first minute I spoke to you. You
I
really
wasn't
organised.
I
know you were, Bernard. You knew everything was going on though.
Like it's only for Jacinta, like, you know, it wouldn't have came together, like.
Fair dues.
There was list after list, and she looked after everything down to paying people.
Love a spreadsheet. Like, as Laura, my maid of honour, said the morning of the wedding, she's been more stressed over barbecues she's had at home, and I was like, yes, because you know everything. I just think I kind of was just like, it's grand, it's here now, and the day will go how it will go, and luckily it went perfectly.
But I think that it's worth planning the hell out of it. But when it comes, let it happen. You done the work, enjoy it, and take those moments together. I think that's what people can take away is do lots of things on the day and have bits and bobs. But enjoy it and kind of and take those moments.
I just want to say well done to you two for pulling off a brilliant wedding day. And thanks again though for sharing and coming in and taking the time out to chat to us.
Thanks, bother.
Thanks a million for the job you did as well.
You're so welcome.
You're literally photographers and wedding coordinators all in one. Like, it was amazing. Like, because even the questions we were asking, they weren't like, when do we do this or when did this happen?
But you know what though, we spend all our time at weddings. So if we can't help people out from experience, then sure, you know, why would you not? You know, to make anything you can do to make people de-stress, run a bit more smoothly, and even sometimes we just do things behind the scenes. No one knows we're doing it, and things just kind of like just slot into place.
And that is something that people said about the four of you. Like, was like, sure, we really saw them, and I was like, I'm sure that's a compliment.
Exactly. We both really like things that are structured, you know, as in like this is happening at this time, and we'll be here at this time, and we'll be leaving at this time. And like when we had the Zoom call with E, it was 2 weeks before. We went through like, okay, we'll be, you know, across to the park now at whatever time.
Here's a realistic time.
You know, we'll be finishing the park thing, you know, after 45 minutes. We'll leave and go there, and we'll be over here by this time. And I think we were. I didn't look at the time.
No.
But I would say we were exactly on time. Like, and I enjoyed that.
That's really good.
And it was straight from when you came to the room. Like, I knew I was there. Like, because I think you were a little bit surprised with the stage we were at and getting ready.
I suppose it was reasonable. I suppose there was some interesting bodies coming in and out. And
we were quite kind of laid back and chill. I think you said something, and then I was like, maybe we should get
tip away.
But we prefer that though, because like, you know, if we come in and you're not ready, it's great, because like we wouldn't have pictures of you in your towel blow drying your beard. Like, and this, but that's what you did in your morning. So like if we arrive and everyone's fully suited and the flowers are on the jackets, and it's 2.5 hours before the ceremony starts, and they're looking at Benny going, what now? Well, that is the question. What now? Because
but you're right. There's a balance. There's a balance to it. You don't want to be ready too early. But there's a certain point where, well, if you do actually still want to leave at that time, lads, you might want to tip on. Or if you need to do that job and get it fixed, you better tip away. Because it's easy to. You can mess for 15 minutes and then all of a sudden then it's mayhem at the end.
Exactly.
Or you can be ready half an hour too early and then you're kind of twiddling thumbs. So
whereas like
tough.
I just feel the morning, as I said, when you come in, just everyone just kind of started flowing then, and next thing we were just ready, and Ma'am came in, did the buttonhole, and then we just headed off. That was it then, like, you know, we were there, and there was no kind of waiting around. I would have hated to be sitting in the suit for an hour or two. Because I would have been sweating.
And sweating,
Literally, I would have been.
Sorry for the smell. It's true.
So I suppose we can say thanks really for
welcome. Thanks for having us, because we loved your wedding day. I was like, he was literally dragging me out the door. I was like, one more song, Minnie. Just one more song. He's like, Laura, come on, get in the car. But no, it was amazing, guys. And again, thanks so much for sharing. You're very good.
No bother.
No problem.
Perfect, guys.